Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Good afternoon, lovely people. Hope you are well. Me and Drift are back with another preview for another game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Before, when we were doing preview shows, I really used to look forward to it, and I used to look forward to the post-match show even more because we'd usually win. Nowadays, I'm kind of going through the motions, bro.
It's real, bro.
I'm worried for tonight. You know, I'm just gonna come out and say it straight. I'm worried for tonight.
I know home and away advantage hasn't mattered that much recently because there's no fans in the stadium. But could it possibly help us that this has to be at a neutral ground and Leipzig won't be as comfortable as they would have been in their own changing room and all that kind of stuff? Is that going to maybe help? Maybe? I don't know.
Bro, Brighton, Burnley came and they did us dirty, bro. So yeah. Leipzig have won their last 4 games, I think, on the bounce. I'm worried. I am worried. I'm not going to front. Usually I go into, you know me, Drift, I usually go into most games thinking that we can win it. And I don't just say it, I genuinely believe we usually can win games. I'm worried for tonight because I look at how Leipzig played against Man United and they can be very devastating when they want to be. And again, Julian Nagelsmann is a great manager. And the fact that he admires Klopp so much and he studies Klopp so much is, again, another worry. Because as that saying goes, your idols become your rivals. We've seen it through all walks of lives in different sport. Israel Adesanya, Anderson Silva. We've seen it. Like, we've seen the torch being passed, and I don't want to see the torch being passed this soon and this early. And again, I know you got to look at it both ways because obviously Man United beat them 5-0 as well. But you look at that game, I think Man United kind of took their chances and they made mistakes. And the difference with us at the moment, we're not punishing teams when they make mistakes. We're making mistakes and we're getting punished severely. They've got some great players, obviously. Upamecano, player that we were linked with. Our old goalkeeper, Galacci. Konate, Nkuku, Olmo, Fosberg, Sabitzer. They got some very good players like Poulsen up top is going to be a problem. Good afternoon to yourself as well, John Conway. So I mean, Drift, can we win this game tonight?
Can we? Yeah. We turn it on. We're still that same team that we have been because we've still got the same players, same manager, same philosophy, whatever. Will we?
Yeah.
Bro, your guess is as good as mine, bro. I have no idea what Liverpool's going to... Do you know what? What's actually really worrying me is I can't remember if it was you or Matt that said we've gone back to the 17-18 Liverpool. When this kind of started, like, you know, like mid kind of January, when it was like, we've gone back to that time when we didn't win by 5 goals, we couldn't win and that kind of thing. Maybe it was Matt. Either way, what's weird is we're not even that team.
We're not.
Because at least that team put 3 or 4 goals in the net every game. We scored 2 goals in 3 goals in the West Ham game. It was 3-1 we won West Ham.
3-1 against Tottenham.
We beat West Ham 3-1 and we beat Tottenham 3-1, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat Tottenham 3-1. Yeah, it was 2 3-1s back to back, weren't it? But then after that, was it 1-0 loss to Brighton, 1-0 loss to Burnley,
4-1 against Man City.
Yeah, 4-1 City.
3-1 against Leicester City.
And Man U also knocked us out the FA Cup 3-2, right?
Yeah.
So we've actually started to not really score many goals, and now we're letting in loads of goals, which is really bad because at least we were getting kind of like I wouldn't necessarily say we were defending well in terms of like the general census of the game. But if you come out the game and it's a 0-0 where you've only let in one goal, it's not really as bad. Like you don't look at it in as that bad of a thing. Whereas if we're letting in 3 against Man U, 3 against Leicester, 4 against City, now we're starting to actually let teams score loads of goals as well. And if you can't put the ball in the back of the net very often, and the opposition is banging in goals like that, bro, that's not a recipe for disaster. That's like a relegation level team situation.
It feels like 14-15. That's how it feels. It feels like 14-15. Sly Ross says, one thing about this group is they don't down tools. They actually care about the club. Game Saturday was good up until the 1-1, which forgotten about. I agree. Look, with the Leicester game, I think it was more the case of how we conceded the goals. It was frustrating because the first goal was offside, the second goal was a mistake, and the third goal was because we gave away the ball and we were chasing the game. And Ndidi looked very good, and I think he dominated the midfield, which I don't think would have happened had Henderson and Fabinho been in midfield. Obviously, Fabinho wasn't available at all, but had Henderson been in midfield, I don't think Ndidi dominates the game how he did, in my personal opinion. But again, it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. It happened, and we got to move on with it. Phil Felston, Upamecano was like, I saw my former pals Naby and Werner struggling in the EPL in the league. And he got word from Angelino about his time at City as well. So he was like, I'm cool with Bayern.
You know what? He might have a point.
Got fair point there. I mean, tonight's game could go either way. The one good thing about this game is the fact that Leipzig ain't going to park the bus. They're going to come out and they're going to play. Julian Nagelsmann likes to play football. He likes to get his team on the front foot, likes to counter press, do all the things that made us really good. But at the same time, because we're not playing at our best at the moment, a team doing to us what we used to do to other teams could become an absolute madness potentially. So that's where my worry is.
I'd rather they did sit in, bro. I'm being honest. Any team who comes at us now is going to whack us up. They are, because we can't even say, we'll cash them on the break. Cash them on the break with who? That ain't money out there. That's not Salah out there. I don't know who these guys are, but these guys have been Space Jam. It's like, I don't know what's going on right now, bro. So I'd rather the team just sat in and didn't really do much, and we could maybe get a 0-0 or something like that, and then try and at least get through with Anfield advantage, which probably don't even exist anymore because we've lost 3 games in a row at Anfield, which I don't remember ever seeing ever in my entire life to memory. 3 home games in a row. When have we ever done that before?
I can't remember. I think the last time it happened was in the 60s, apparently. So,
well, there you go, then, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, and what's weird is that we just like breaking records for the sake of breaking records. So we broke our record of undefeated Anfield games in a row. Haven't lost at Anfield for like 3 years. So we're like, okay, we've got that record there. Cool. When we lose that record, let's break another record, which is losing in a row at home. And then it's like, do we just like breaking records? Like, what's wrong with us?
It's mad. It's mad. All right, then, just
1963, Colin's saying. Is that the last time we lost 3 home games in a row?
Guy Fawkes said 67, so it's within the 60s, definitely in the 60s. That's crazy.
So we're just out here just trying to break new records. So in the Premier League, we've never lost 3 home games in a row, and we do it off the back of our best ever home record in history. That doesn't even make any sense, bro.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. And again, you look at tonight as well, like, obviously we're screaming out for a centre-back, and Konate has been one of the names we've been linked with. And if he's fit, you'd imagine he'd start next to Upamecano. It's almost like an audition for some of these players potentially as well. Not just for us, but for other Premier League clubs to say, right, they got something about them. And that, again, is something that worries me again.
Well, I'm nervous as hell, man. I've been... I almost want to just give up on this season, you know. And you know what? Yeah, I know people might say this is a bit of a defeatist mentality, but the way we're going and how bad it is, if somebody said to me right now, I'm going to snap my fingers and you'll finish 4th, but you don't win fuck all else, and we let's just get ready for pre-season now. Apart from the obvious, I don't want my life, the 4 months of my life to disappear, but in the football world, I'd snap your hand off it right now, you know, bro. I'd be like, let's just go, because I'm scared we're not even going to get top 4. Champions League, bro, I can't start thinking about Champions League when we can't even beat Brighton and Burnley. Like, let's just keep it a buck, bro. Like, we can't even beat Burnley and Brighton. How are we going to be thinking about winning Champions League? Like,
yeah, I'll be honest. Just looking in the comments, I see a couple of you man them speaking about the beard and that. Obviously, yeah, we're making things tick still. We're coming on now. We're coming on now.
This would have been gone if I hadn't lost my leveler for my beard. This would have been gone.
Yeah. Nah, my level is cool still. My level is cool.
It gets in the way sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, obviously I know, bro. I'm growing the thing out. I know how it goes, bro. All right then, Drift. Who plays tonight? Who starts for Liverpool?
Don't even want to put Alisson in goal.
This is the thing. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if I can. If Kelleher's back or not.
If I wouldn't put him in if he's back, if it was an injury situation anyway, because obviously that's doing that same. As soon as you're fit, throwing you back in. So it's got to be Ali. But you know what? He's really got to get himself together now. He's really got to get himself together. I don't know what. It's like he went on a 2-week bender, and he's like still drunk.
Yeah.
Like you see, like when he came out and he come at that flying knee, bro. That's a drunk man's move.
Yeah.
You know that when you're walking down the street and you see a drunk man go, "Oh, watch this, boys," and he just runs across the road and throws himself into the bins or something stupid, and you're like, what kind of clown and shit is this?
Yeah.
That's like what Ali's doing now. Like he's just, oh my God. It's so weird.
You got to go with him though, innit?
Yeah, you do. And just hope he just gets it together, man.
I'm gonna go Ali and goal. Defense is a tough one. I know a lot of people are saying about Nat Phillips, but Nat's not registered for the Champions League as far as I know.
You can re-register at this stage. Did we not add him in?
From what I know, I don't think we did. Sorry, just one. So Velvishwan, you're asking to be a mod. That's absolutely fine. Just DM me on Twitter with your YouTube channel link, and then we'll make you a mod as well. And that goes for anyone else as well. Oh, he is registered. Oh, okay, that's good then. That's good.
I would have, because with Matip, Gomez, and Van Dijk all being out for the whole season, we would have surely did the
well, probably, yeah, you're right. We probably would have taken out Matip and kept in Gomez and Virgil. I'm going to go Nat Phillips and Kabak.
Yeah, because Fabinho ain't even fit, bruv.
I don't want to see Henderson play centre-back in this game.
So we need him in midfield, bro.
Yeah, Kabak and Nat Phillips for me. Same for you. You're going with the same, yeah?
Yeah. 100%.
All right. If we were playing 2 centre-backs that actually had an understanding, I'd actually go for Tsimikas in this game, because I think Robbo does need a break. I know it's a risk.
If it was like Virgil and Matip playing or something like that.
Yeah, or even if it was Matip and Fabinho, I'd probably go Tsimikas left back, just so he could get a break.
Is he okay, Tsimikas? Is he out the base? Like, is he like?
He's been on the bench and all that. He's been on the bench.
But I feel like he's not even a Liverpool player.
I know. But I'm gonna go obviously Robbo, because I think it's too much change in the back line if you play Tsimikas, Phillips, and Kabak.
Yeah, definitely.
So
definitely.
But Robbo needs a break, and he can't get a break this game. He can't get a break in the derby.
It's in hindsight, you should have played Tsimikas in the Leicester game, innit? We lost anyway. What difference?
Yeah. In hindsight, yeah. All right, centre midfield.
I would definitely have Hendo at the base of the midfield, because he needs to protect. I don't want him at centre back, but I do want him protecting and making sure that everything's all right. And I think even though Gini can do a good job at that, no one does it better than Hendo in terms of filling in for Fabinho. Hendo's the best one at filling in for Fabinho. So I'll play Hendo at the base. Are you going 4-2-3-1 if it was you, or would you go 4-3-3?
4-2-3-1. I'm protecting that defense at all costs. Is Hendo
I
and
think
Gini.
he's gonna go 4-4-2 though, bro. You know, I'm 4-3-3. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he will as well. But I would go Hendo and Gini protecting.
Yeah, if it was 4-2-3-1, 100%. All right, let's do both. Let's do the team we would do with 4-2-3-1, and we do what we think Klopp will play. So yeah, you go Gini and Hendo the base.
Hendo and Gini, yeah.
I agree with that.
To solidify. I think Hendo and Gini will both start this game. I think it will be with Thiago.
So who would you play in the number 10 in the 4-2-3?
I would probably play. You know, I'm gonna get stick for this, and I understand if I do. I would go left field and go with Ox.
Bit of an unknown driving with the ball.
Yeah, the reason I say that is what I would try and do is I would leave 2 players upfield all the time, and that way keep them honest at the back so they can't try and advance too much on us. So I'd probably leave Salah and Mane up top as far as possible, and then have Firmino and Ox sort of sitting slightly deeper when we're defending. So we suffocate the midfield, hopefully. So we'd have 2. So the way we'd shape up defensively, we'd have the back 4, the 2 in front of them, and then the 2 of Ox and Firmino, when we're defending, and just leave Mane and Salah up top. Plus Ox he's got more pace than Thiago, Curtis Jones, and then also he's got a better shot. Shaqiri for me just doesn't seem to have the legs that he used to for whatever reason. But yeah, that's what I would do. And then obviously Firmino through the middle.
I'd actually play Firmino in that 10, bro.
I know who you're going up top with.
Yeah, and it's not even an agenda. I'm just keeping it real. We need the Leipzig defenders to be kept honest. And the only game I can really remember defenders feeling occupied was that game that Origi started. Well, and it's not even just an agenda. Like, I genuinely feel like even though he only played like 50, 60 minutes in that game, it was the most occupied any of the opposition centre-backs have been for a very long time. He just kept them honest. Even if he didn't score a goal, at least they always felt like they had to worry about having a player running behind, or they just felt like they were in a game where they had to defend. Firmino doesn't make players feel like they're in a game at the moment. They just cruise through the game. The centre-backs of any opposition now is just cruising through games.
Apart from Tottenham. But that's one song.
But you know what? They're so all over the place at the moment. We can't even get happy about that victory. Look how bad they've been. Like,
yeah, shall I tell you what was with Origi, Drift? I just don't trust Origi. I don't trust him.
Listen, I appreciate why people don't trust him, but it's like with your decision to play Ox. If anyone wants to laugh at the decision or make fun of us for thinking that these players should play, for you picking Ox, for me picking Origi, I just ask you one question. What difference does it make? Because we've had all the stars playing and we've been getting smacked left, right and centre recently. So on a real, take your bias out of you don't like Origi, you don't like Shaqiri, you don't like Ox, you didn't like Minamino. Take away all of the bias towards any of the players you dislike that we're saying we would play.
Yeah.
Even this Thiago hate that's starting to build up now, and people not rating Thiago. Who would you play if it was based on what you've seen in the last 6 weeks? You wouldn't pick the players that you're saying should play name-wise because they've all been terrible.
Yeah.
Even like to a degree, Salah, Mane and Firmino. Really and truthfully, performance-wise, all 3 of those shouldn't really be playing any games. I know Salah's still scoring goals, so I maybe give him a little bit of a blight. But if you actually look at performance levels, none of those should really be playing, especially not Mane and Firmino. So if I say put Origi up front, what is it about that decision where you go, oh, what a stupid decision? How many goals has Firmino scored this season? And how many games has he played well as a striker? So if I got Firmino playing number 10, maybe he might be able to just do a couple of nice little passes, little through balls and stuff, and keep Origi up front and just say, bro, I'm here in this number 10 role. Just stay up there, bro. You don't need to do anything except occupy the centre-backs. I'll do all this leg work in midfield. This is what I do well. But now you're up there to get in the box from the spamming crosses
I
And then
hear,
who knows?
I hear, but the problem is, even when we talk about crosses, though, Drift, he's never in the right position when we cross the ball.
Because normally we're playing 4-3-3 and he ends up kind of doing what Firmino does. It's like, bro, what's the point in drifting left and doing all that stuff?
But that's what I'm saying. His positional awareness isn't good enough. And again, I come back to it because everyone keeps on speaking about height. And this is why I don't necessarily agree with the Haaland and Mbappe debate when we talk about crosses into the box. Alan Shearer, for example, is the second top goal scorer in the English Premier League for headers, only behind Crouch. Now, Crouch is 6'7", so he's an anomaly. Shearer's 5'11". Shearer's not a giant of any stand at all. Like, Shearer's an average sized man, but he had timing and he had desire to win the ball in the air. That's why I say height is very overrated when it comes to headering. Origi's 6'3", and I rarely see him win aerial duels. What I see, and again, Mane's what, 5'8" maybe, but when the ball goes into the box, Mane's the one I'm thinking, yeah, he could get ahead. He could.
Yeah, that's true.
So again, it's desire. It's not a height and it's the positional awareness. Origi doesn't have that positional awareness, and again, neither does Firmino. But again, even Firmino, I'd say if there was a header on goal, I'd back Firmino over Origi, even though Origi is taller and physically stronger.
The only thing is, when we talk about Origi, everyone always goes too far the other way because they think I'm just defending it. But here's two things I've noticed. One thing I've noticed is a lot of the time Salah, whether it's by design or by just whatever, he ends up being central a lot. And it's one of the reasons I think Firmino actually does come out of position a lot, because if you're being sensible and using your common sense, if you see that Salah's there, there's no point two people marking the same space. And he also, whenever Origi plays, the same thing happens. And there is a part of me that feels like the way Salah's so like, I want to come inside because I'm goal hungry, it forces whoever's the striker to go wide to just not be in the same space. That could be me overthinking things, but I've seen Firmino and Origi both do it when Salah plays.
I hear that. But this is why I don't stick up for Origi or Firmino in that, because I've seen Jota play through the middle and Jota didn't have that problem with Salah or Mane.
I don't remember Jota playing striker though. I remember him playing wide, but I don't remember him playing striker.
Atalanta he did.
Did he play up front in that game?
Yeah, he got a hat-trick, bro.
No, I remember he got a hat-trick, but was he not wide left in that game?
Nah. Mane was left, he was through the middle, and Salah was from the right.
Yeah, fair, yeah. That feels like such a long time ago. All right, well, like I said, I'm not even saying that's a definite thing, so you might be right, but that's just something that I've noticed a lot during games. And then the other thing I'll say is, I know that people don't think that Origi's positional sense is good, and maybe you're saying it's even desire. I think that desire has gone with lack of confidence and being buoyed off a bit, though. Because if you do look at his earlier Liverpool career, especially like the Barcelona goal, for example, that opened up the scoring when he got the rebound, because he was being instinctive and thinking like a striker and getting into that position. When he scored the winning goal against Everton, he was the only one as a striker that thought, what if the goalie does something stupid here? I'm just going to hang around and maybe it will happen. He does have it in him, but I think it's been knocked out of him with his lack of confidence and the fact that he knows nobody cares about him. So it is in him to do it. That's all I'm saying. It is in him to do it. He is a natural striker who's been played left a lot and faffed around a lot. And I'm just saying, it's so bad at the moment, it's not even an agenda anymore. I'm just thinking, can we just have a guy on the pitch who is at least naturally a goal scorer? Even if he's not in good form, just have someone on the pitch who's a natural goal scorer, because Mane ain't scoring, Firmino ain't scoring, Salah's just about having good games even though he is scoring. I just want someone on the pitch who knows how to score goals at the moment. I'm not going to lie, bro.
I hear you. And again, it's going to sound like I'm piling on to Origi. And I think Drift, I'm not going to pile on. You know my thoughts on him, I'm not going to pile on. I don't think he is a natural goal scorer.
He is, bro. He is.
I don't think he is. I think he's a striker, but I don't think he's a natural goal scorer.
I think the way he proves that he's got an all-round game in terms of finishing, I think that makes him a natural goal scorer.
I don't think he. Again, I'm not just doing this to try and get one over on you or anything like that. I genuinely don't feel he has got an all-round finishing game. Like I've seen glimpses. Like we can, and again, I know you can turn around and say, well, he scored the left-footed goal with in the Champions League final. He rounded the keeper against Bournemouth back in 16, 17 and hit him from quite an acute angle.
When Ranagoli had scored with his left foot against Everton when he got the brace. Like,
no, but those have been few and far between.
So he doesn't play, bro. His game is few and far
even when I
between.
have seen him play, bro, I haven't seen it enough to say, yeah, that's a natural goal scorer. Like even Jesus, for example, I'm not Jesus' biggest fan, but he strikes me as more of a natural goal scorer than Origi because he knows where to be and then he knows what type of finish to use. It's like, and again, I'm not even just saying this because I just used examples of him scoring goals, but I've seen this season where the Burnley one, yes, it hit the post, but it still should have been a goal. The miss against Midtjylland in the away leg when Salah put him through on goal and it just trickled past the post. To me, those are chances a natural goal scorer would gobble up. And the problem is we don't have a natural goal scorer at the club. Like Origi missed those chances, but that could have easily just been Firmino. Like we've seen Firmino miss chances that he should never have missed this season as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just about Origi.
Rust, bro, in my opinion.
But both of them are doing it. Both of them are doing it.
And the one thing I'll say in his defense again for that miss in the Burnley game when he hit the crossbar, the only reason that chance created itself is because he is who he is and second guessed and then got the mistake. Firmino wouldn't even have second guessed that and chased it down. They would have got away with that mistake.
I disagree with that one.
But Salah and Mane possibly would have been alert and got on the end of that. But Firmino's not that way in thinking. He never thinks the defender might make a mistake, let me get on him. He just doesn't. It was only because Origi's thinking like a striker, like he might make a mistake here. What actually put the defender under pressure that gave him the thing. So he should have scored, but it was his initiative that gave him the opportunity. So I'm just saying, I just want anyone on the pitch who's a better goal scorer than what it looks like we've got at the moment. And that's why you saying play Ox might be a good idea because he's a goal scorer midfielder. He's not in good form, but he's still a goal scorer in midfielder. At least he might have a shot. When was the last time any of our midfielders took a shot?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a tough one. I mean, so you'd go with Mane, Salah, and Origi, and then Bobby in a 10, then, yeah?
Yeah.
I would go with Mane, Firmino, and Salah and Ox in the 10. But again, I don't feel like Ox and Origi, they're just not in good form and they haven't been for a while. So you go with either one, then it's a risk either way. To be honest, you just go with the front three. It's a risk nowadays as well because
that's what I'm saying, bro. And maybe Firmino and Origi on the pitch at the same time, which I can't remember ever happening, could create some kind of link up. You never know. We got to try something now, bro.
Yeah, apart from Salah, no one's scoring goals at the moment.
That's what I mean. So I'm saying that when you say play Ox and I say play Origi, at least these guys are known for actually getting goals. Like no one else is scoring, bro. Like even Shaqiri, technically gifted, beautiful player, but he's still not a goal scorer. He still don't, you know what I mean? Like
I think Shaqiri is a technically very. I think the more I watch Shaqiri play this season, I feel he's so wrong for our team and what we're trying to do. And I feel sorry. It's not his fault. It's just he doesn't fit our system anymore, in my opinion. Like there's even when you look at him playing as a cam, like again, he's had great.
Wolves. I look at the way Wolves play, and I think he'd fit the way they play.
I don't actually know. And this is why it's hard because you look at players like Coutinho, you look at players like Isco, Shaqiri, these out and out 10s, they're kind of being phased out of the game. And it's because not a lot of teams have either the desire or the personnel to play a strong 4-2-3-1. Like us and Man City are probably the only two teams in the league, and Man United potentially are the only two teams that could put two quality midfielders at the base of midfield and then have a number 10. But with the form we're in, we can't put Shaqiri in the 10 at the moment. Like, even when you look at De Bruyne doesn't play how like a Coutinho played. Like De Bruyne's a lot more box to box than people give him credit for.
He's actually quicker than I realized he was as well. Yeah,
so it's like these 10s are, again, I feel like Shaqiri, unfortunately, is becoming one of those players like who, and it's football cycle. So in 5 years' time, there might be a cry out for 10s again. But right now, it seems like managers are just not really caring about 10s. And Shaqiri, unfortunately, falls in that boat because he's not a winger. He's not fast enough to be a winger in our system either.
Mm.
So he's in that in between, which is again why I don't think he gets much playing time and why I wouldn't start him in this game either. But as an out and out 10, Shaqiri is the best 10 we've got, in my opinion.
Mm. Like in a Mourinho type system, where number 10 probably actually does do a number 10's job, he would be very good for that.
So 2 pixel 2, define a natural goal scorer. Salah on track with 30 goals. All right, so I'm only going to give my opinion on this.
Yeah,
He's going to have his own opinion. For me, a natural goal scorer is a player that you put in front of goal 10 times, and maybe 8 out of the 10 times he puts the ball in the back of the net. As great as Salah is, and everyone knows I'm a Salah guy, I don't think you get those sort of statistics out of Salah. And again, it's not his fault. He didn't grow up a striker. He doesn't play striker often. He's a good goal getter, but I wouldn't say he's a natural goal scorer. And when I speak about natural goal scorers, I look at your likes of Fowler, Kane, Shearer, Aguero, these players that you put in front of goal and you almost you're more shocked when they miss. Ian Wright's another, like when I used to see Fowler or Michael Owen, for example, miss a chance, I'd be like, what? Or Torres in his time at Liverpool. When Torres missed a chance at Liverpool, I'd be like, what have I just seen? Whereas now, if Salah missed the chances, I'm like, fair enough. So that's where it is for me. Drift, I don't know if you agree or disagree.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from. I think for me, I know this is going to sound stupid because I just played lower level football, but as a striker myself, I can tell you, sometimes people want to be a striker because they're just greedy or they want glory. Most people are a striker because you just realize that's your best position. You grow up playing football in the school playground and stuff. And you're a midfielder, Cal, so you probably will know the same thing. Like, you start realizing what you're good at as you're playing, and what you're good at starts to become what you dwell on and what you persist with. And then you just get better and better at that. And then that facet of your game becomes what you're known for. And then therefore that gives you the position you are. So you might be an amazing passer of the ball, but you're slow as hell. Like, you're really, really slow. Chances are you're most likely going to be a central midfielder rather than a defensive midfielder, because if you're a defensive midfielder, everyone's just going to keep sprinting past you. You've got a bit more time in the middle because you'll have someone behind you and you'll have someone, like just little, you'll start noticing things. If you're rapid, but you can't finish, you'll become a winger because you'll be effective in the game, but you can't be the one who's getting the chances because your finishing is terrible. Like, you just start developing what you're good at. And I know that when I was in front of goal, my eyes lit up. And the only thing that I could think about was, what part of the goal have I got the most room right now for where the goalie is, where the defenders are? Can I put the ball in that? It's like an instinctive thing. And if you don't have that, you're not a striker. For me.
And why I say that, Drift, is I'm not a striker. You see, when I'm one-on-one with a goalkeeper, I panic.
Yeah. Because you haven't gone into like bullet time, so to speak, where you're like, what part of the goal? All right, I'm going to put it there. It's like you've got more time than you have, almost. I start overthinking it. I'm like, should I go there? And then by the time I know it, I'm too close to the goalkeeper, or I'm taking a shot I shouldn't be taking. I've played with enough top strikers to know that when they're in on goal, a part of me is already celebrating, like, yes, we've got this goal now. Because, and you know what that is as well. 50-50. So to cut you, when what you're saying is, it's the part of somebody who's thinking, best thing to hear for me to do is just put my foot through this and hope for the best kind of thing. And that's why a striker also has that finesse. They have that, like, they'll caress the ball into the top corner. They won't just whack it as hard as they can and it goes in by fluke. They've aimed for the top corner. Do you get what I mean? When a striker nutmegs a goalie, it's normally on purpose. He'll see the legs are open and he knows the keeper isn't going to be able to close him in time. And it's an instinctive, there's the most space, I'm going to put it through his legs. Like, it's just a way of thinking. And I don't feel like people like Firmino have that, whereas I do think Origi does. And even if you don't think he's as great as like a Michael Owen at it, I still know that he's got that in his head more than anyone else in our team. That's just my opinion anyway.
Another thing is, and it works both ways defensively. So it's like I'm naturally more defensively minded than I am attacking wise. And it's like if I see the ball break in a certain position, straight away I'm switched on to, all right, I need to cover these spaces. Whereas a striker's not going to be thinking like that. They're just going to be thinking, that's cool.
But I'll be honest, the striker's thinking this ain't my responsibility.
Yeah, for real.
If the ball wasn't in the final third, I used to feel like this isn't my fault. If we let in a goal, I was always like, that got to do with me. I'm a striker. Yeah. And I know that's really fucked up to think like, but it's like a thing to get them out. I'm old school as well. Like you just think that's not my fault. When the ball's up front, you lot all blame me if I don't score. So when the ball goes in the back of the net, that's not my fault. It's got nothing to do with me. Yeah. That's why they call it a striker's tackle, because you're not good at it, you don't time it well, and you're not even thinking about what might happen afterwards. You're just thinking, I'm just going to try and make a tackle. Whereas, as you said, you're thinking of the space. You're thinking, if I dive in here, there's no one behind me. As a striker, I'm just thinking, win the ball, and that's why I'll probably get sold a dummy and get left on the floor. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Ondra, Bobby this season, 24 appearances, 6 goals. Last season, 38 appearances, 9 goals. If Origi played those 62 appearances, he would not score less than Bobby. # we need a striker badly.
That's been my point the whole time.
It has been, but again, there's no proof of that. There's no proof.
Yeah, but common sense though, bro.
No, you know but again, we say common sense, but what's the most Origi scored in a season before?
But how many times does he get to play like a persistent
No, but even back at Lille, and when he was on loan at Wolfsburg,
I think his highest goal scoring season is 10 goals in one season. I think it is. But when he was at Lille, he was only 18, man.
No, but again, we keep on speaking about him being a striker. Like, so this is why I'm saying it's not so cut and dry that he'd get more goals. He might not.
I think he would. But
Flintoff, guarantee fans will be back for next season when we're in the Europa League, knowing our luck. I hope not. 2 Pixel 2 is a goal poach. I'd say a goal poacher. Robin ain't a natural goal scorer, but he can still put 8 out of 10 away. I'd say it's the right place at the right time, like Pippo and Zaghi. That's a fair point as well.
But this is what I'm saying, Pixel. That's because he's only thinking about the goal. So a lot of the time he's only there because he's just hoping it happens for the glory. Like literally, he's just like, I'm going to stand here because I know through common sense and through experience, a lot of the time when the ball rebounds or this happens or that happens, the ball ends up here. So I'm just going to be here to make sure I'm here if it happens. Because if you watch his whole career, he probably stood there a million times and 950,000 times and nothing happened. But because those other 50,000 times it happened, you're like, natural goal scorer. It probably never happened more than it did. But at least he was switched on to thinking it could happen. Like Origi did against Everton when he scored the goal from the Pickford mistake. Only a striker thinks like that. He might fumble this. I'm just going to wait around and see what happens. Everyone else is thinking about getting back in position. A striker's like, no, there might still be some danger here. I'm going to hang around and see what happens. So,
sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at Dolph Drifty. Dolph Drifty's on one today. Kadir, like Neo in the Matrix, everything slows down. Again, I can't testify to that because when I'm in front of goal, like I'm gonna be real with people. I panic in front of goal.
And do you want to know the difference as well, bro? This is where you can tell a striker who's low on confidence or out of form because he'll play like what you're saying, where he starts panicking because his natural game goes away from him because he's in his head too much, thinking about everyone's gonna cuss him when he misses this chance. And that's why when the striker's out of form, you notice they start doing really rash, stupid things, and you're like, that's not like him, but it's because his natural game's gone and now he's in his feelings. He's more thinking about the banter of when he misses than just concentrating on doing what he's good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Big Six Bants. Go and subscribe to them if you haven't already, people. Imagine Cal spraying 60-yard passes. Love it. I wouldn't say I'm more... I'm trying to think how I describe myself as a footballer. I don't know. I haven't played 11s for a little while. I've only been playing 5s. I mean, if I have to spray, I'll spray, but that's not my game. I'm not like a Cruz or Alonso. I like to get stuck in, man. As Drifter would say, I like to engage. Don't read my name says if Drift plays striker, he would sub himself after 10 minutes so Origi can play. Them selfless acts there. Not even Bobby.
Do you know something? Yeah, I would have loved to have played with Divock. Would have been the big man, little man combo.
Well, I don't know. I've never been a striker. I think I used to play there when I was younger because, as you said, Drift, everyone likes the glory. But as you get older, you realise who's a striker and who's not a striker. I'm not a striker. Not to say I can't finish in front of goal, but it's not consistent. It's not consistent. One week you'll see me and I look like I can't miss. The next week you'll see me and you'll be like, "Rah, does this brother play football?" Yeah, it's bad. It can be really bad. But in terms of my role, I'm pretty confident in my role. Mil Neymar. Remember my call on rejuvenating the team. We have no pace nor stamina. Looking at the current cycle of players, do we want any Klopp legacy? Has to be done in the summer, unfortunately. Should have been done over the last couple of years, but this summer's huge. This summer is huge. Can't stress it enough. And again, I hope after the game we're not talking about that because it means we would have lost or had a really bad performance. But it's worrying if you ask me. It's worrying because the amount of money, in my opinion, we have to spend to get back to that level, for me, it's money that I don't see us having, let alone spending. I personally think you need around 200 million to secure this team. And people say 200 million is crazy, but you look at how little we've spent over the last few years and the fact that we're going to need to replenish the squad properly. And I don't want just any old player. I want top quality players. In 200 million for four to five players potentially, I don't think is that much in today's game. When you think,
do you feel, Cal? Do you feel like if we had everybody back fit, we would feel like we need as much as we do now while everyone's injured?
All right, so these are the positions. If everyone's absolutely fit, I still think we need another goalkeeper to replace Adrian.
Yeah,
whether that be a third choice or a second choice. Shout out to the members. You've seen we're doing a series called Sorting Our Squad at the moment where we're looking through that. If we're looking at centre-backs, then yes, we still need one centre-back, regardless if everyone's fit, because Fabinho shouldn't be fourth choice centre-back. So that's still two. I think we need another winger to compete with Mane, Salah and Jota.
Yeah,
so that's three. I think we need an out-and-out striker to replace Origi and to make sure Bobby doesn't start in the number 9. And for me, well, those are the four key ones. And then if I'm being greedy, a number 10. So either way, still four to five players, I think.
See, I think if Kelleher continues to play as well as he has been, we could maybe get away with the goalkeeper. Maybe. I'm not saying we should, but I'm saying maybe we could if Kelleher continues to play this well.
I don't have a problem with Kelleher being number 2, but I still want a decent number 3.
I hear that. And obviously we can't give it away because it's unfair to the members. But we have spoken about some some freebies that would even mean we didn't have to even spend money to replace the goalkeeper. So I think we can get away with making 3 signings: a centre back, the winger, and the striker, as you said, if everyone else is back fully fit.
No,
I feel like even with 100 mil, we should be able to do that with the way our scouting has been. Well, we won't get the Mbappes and the Grealishes of the world, but say 50 mil for Neto, for an example. I think that's possible. We only paid 40 for Jota and they're very similar level players. So 50 mil for Neto, for example. A centre-back, Botman was only being touted at around 20 million. Like,
apparently they want 40 mil.
Now he's got a bit of hype behind him on one of them ones.
Look, I'm going to say it straight, Drift. I'm going to say it straight. And again, this isn't going to spoil anything for the members because these aren't going to be the players that we ultimately pick, I don't think, because this isn't realistic, but this is what I'd want. I would want, again, goalkeeper, I'll leave that to the scouts to do. As long as they ain't going to the park to pick someone up like they did the last time, I'll leave that to the scouts. Centre-back, I want Varane. For wing, I want Neto. For striker, I want Mbappe. And if we're getting a 10, what's the other position? It was striker. If we're getting a striker, I want Mbappe. If we're getting a 10, I want Grealish. I know people are gonna say it's unrealistic, but those are the caliber of players I want now.
But that's a bigger summer than Chelsea just had. That's never happening.
Well, but this is what I'm saying. As you compared it to a team. Chelsea went and got Havertz, Werner, Thiago Silva, a goalkeeper, Chilwell,
Ziyech.
and Ziyech. So, I'm sorry. These are the sort of players I want at the club. Yes, I know it's unrealistic given what we are as a club and who our owners are, but it's what I want. No one in the chat can sit here and tell me right now, if we went and got Varane, Grealish, Neto, and Mbappe, we couldn't win the league and the Champions League next season.
Yeah, but bro, even you've got to admit that's so unrealistic. Even Man City would struggle to pull that off.
I don't think they would struggle to pull that off.
I think they would, bro. You just named four spectacular footballers, bro.
Not with players. That's with player sales as well. It's not just you're just funding it and still keeping the same players, but that's with player sales, bro. We haven't spent money in how many years, bro?
No, I agree with you, but
like this is something.
Let's just work that out, money.
Man City do this every year and a half to 2 years. We're asking for this once every 10 years.
All right, no, I'm on your side, bro. But let's just break that down real quick, yeah. 50 mil for Neto, 80 mil for Grealish. That's 130.
I know the prices, bro. It's expensive.
Who else did you say? A defender.
Mbappe, 100 mil.
No, who is a defender again?
Varane, 40 mil.
No, more than that, bro.
Let's say 50 then, Barnett.
50 for Varane. So that's 100 mil for Varane and Neto, yeah. 180 mil including Grealish, 280 mil if you include Mbappe. So let's just round this up and call this 300 mil in case Varane and Neto were more expensive. Yeah. Cal, I don't even think City would spend 300 mil in one summer, I'm being honest.
But I think they have before.
No, I don't think they've ever spent that much.
Bruv, what was the summer where they signed like three fullbacks and a goalkeeper?
Yeah, but I still don't think they got to 300 though.
But they've not needed to, bruv, because they've spent every single season.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You know, people are sleeping on what City did in the season that we won the league, innit? In that summer, they bought Rodri, they bought Angelino, and who else they buy? They bought someone else. They spent over 100 million. Cancelo, they bought Cancelo as well.
Yeah. Cancelo.
But people sleep on that. And then again, this summer, they spent 40 mil on Ake, 60 mil on Diaz, and another, 25, 30 mil on Torres. So over 100 mil again.
Oh, no, I know they comfortably always spend around 150, but I don't think they've ever done 300, though. And Chelsea did, 230, I think Chelsea did. I think that's the most.
And again, so Unbiased USA, Liverpool Sport, I'm not even saying this to call you out. I'm just responding to your message. And again, I don't want anyone else to get on his back. He or she's back. Cal, stop pocket watching, worry about us, not City. I have to worry about other clubs because they're our competition. I have to. I can't sit here and say just worry about us, because if that were the case, then we wouldn't worry about when City potentially get messy. We'd just be like, oh, it's fine, it's only us. Like, we have to look at our competition. That is what football's about. You match.
Timmy's saying they spent 300 million 17, 18. I don't remember that. I don't remember them spending that much, but fair enough if they did.
Yeah, they bought Edison, they bought Mendy, they bought Walker, they bought the Neo. Who else did they buy? I can't remember who I said, but they spend money, bro. They spend money. Like, we're asking one of these windows for the last, since FSG have come in. Man City get to spend at least 100 mil every summer. Bruv, these lot were walking the league and brought Laporte for 60 mil in January. We bought Minamino for 7 mil in January when we were walking the league.
No, bruv, I totally agree with you. But the only way I see us spending 300 million is if we got new, like, Arab owners or something like that. And to make a statement like what City did when they first took over, what they did when they first took over at City, and just be like, all right, let's just go and show the world we mean business. That's the only way I can ever imagine Liverpool spending that much money, especially with FSG. In fact, if we spent 300 mil with FSG as our owners, the people we were buying would be replacing Van Dijk, Alisson, and Salah, because they would have all got shot in.
Yeah.
That's the only way we would ever do that.
That's I don't want that anymore. I don't want that
Oh,
anymore.
of course not, bro. Of course not.
A-Spec Limited, would 200 million get us Lautaro, Grealish and Neto, then a good centre-back with player sales? Surely 200 million net isn't much to expect. Like, again, I just said what my dream scenario is. I'm not going to sit here and be annoyed if we don't get Mbappe, but we get a Lautaro, Martinez or a Haaland or someone of that ilk. And then instead of Grealish, we get another player who's just as creative and good. Or instead of Varane, we get another centre-back who's very good. Like, I'm not going to sit here and moan and be like, no, it's got to be these players, apart from Neto. Neto's the one in it. Neto's the only one that, no, I'm not budging.
I know.
But everyone else, I'm happy to negotiate on who you're buying, but I don't want to be getting players who are going to come good in a year or two, maybe. I want players who are good now. I want players who come to the club and say, you're Mane, yeah? All the respect in the world for you, but I'm coming for your position today. Not, I'm going to watch you in training, pick up some pointers and then try and take your position next week. No, I want you to come in today and say, I want the position today. Because that's how you improve the squad.
And you know what's mad? The guy, and again, not calling him out, who said that you're pocket watching, worry about us. Do you know why you have to pocket watch, guys? Because Man U will always give their manager a lot of money. Even though Man U fans complain, their manager always gets a lot of money. Like there's a part of me that feels like they are the ones who's really acting like sport brats, because they might not get everybody they actually want, but that's because they're always a bit unrealistic with who they want their club to sign.
Their recruitment's crap.
Always get money. And you know what? Chelsea, listen, don't sleep on Abramovich doing all he can now to make Thingy a successful manager, you know. He's already got all the things that Lampard was given. In the summer, what? You don't think he's going to give him another 100, 150 million? It's what he wants.
They're already trying to get Haaland now. They're already trying to get Haaland.
There you go. And I heard that they're going to buy Donnarumma maybe. Like, all of these things, bruv, like, they're going to have the squad that's going to be just naughty and ready to go win that Premier League again. You know what Chelsea are like? We have to watch this face because this is your competition. You have to pay attention to your competition. If you only worry about yourself, do you know the only time you worry about yourself is if it's trying to accumulate points throughout a season? That's when it's like, just worry about us and win our next game, and all we can do is concentrate on winning our next game. That's it. But you can't not watch face in the summertime and during transfer windows when you see your competition getting Lionel Messi's rocking up at City and Chelsea are getting Haaland and all. We've got to watch face. We can't. What if Man United go in the summer and get Sancho and, I don't know, some of Koulibaly, yeah? And then Chelsea go and get Donnarumma, Haaland, and they've already got those superstars they've already got there. And then Man City go and get Messi and, I don't know, somebody else. And then we're just going to sit there and go, oh, don't watch everyone else, guys. It's just what in Klopp we trust. Fuck that. Like, we'll be getting left behind like no man's business. And just to
Klopp's
give everyone a little eye opener.
Just a human being as well.
I looked at the table yesterday out of curiosity. I shouldn't have done it because it depressed the hell out of me. But I looked at the table out of curiosity, and we are only 6 points above Arsenal. Now, I'm sorry, Arsenal are actually piss poor shit. And they have been for a while. Yeah, and we're only 6 points ahead of them. If you really deep that, you have to watch face, guys. You have to. It's the only way we're going to remain a top title contender.
Yeah. Mil Neymar, if this was FSG's plan to win the Premier League and Champions League to increase the club's value and then sell it, I'm good with that. Yeah, I would be as well. I don't think that is the case, unfortunately. Monsoor, name me an American owner who spends money. I can't think of any American owners in LFC, United, Arsenal that spend money. We had Hicks and Gillette for FC. Arsenal spend money. Arsenal spend more money than we do.
They do.
Like, I genuinely don't think people realize how little money we spend as a club and how much the others spend. Like, again, there's so much material out there that shows you Arsenal spend more money than us. I'm pretty sure they probably spent more money than us in the summer. Like,
I think they did.
So
yeah. I'm sure they did. Because they finalized the Saliba deal that was about 15 million.
Well, all right. So even forgetting about Saliba, they got Gabriel, they got Partey.
How much was Gabriel? About 25 mil, right?
Something like that. I think 30 mil. Partey was 45 mil.
And they paid that up front as well. That wasn't even paid.
Release. That was a minimum release. So again, guys, it's like
We're getting outspent by Arsenal, guys. Like, come on, man.
Bournemouth have got better net spend than us. And again, it's not all about net spend. I get that. I fully do agree that it's not about net spend. But when you got a manager like Klopp, it does become about net spend, because you give Klopp half of what other resources other clubs have, and we run away with everything, in my opinion. Because he's done it with the league already. He's won it, the Champions League, on budgets that these other managers couldn't dream about doing.
Right, you know, James makes a good point. Arsenal did take a bank loan out and furlough their staff. So there is the flip side to that. That is a good point.
That is true. That is true. And yeah, look, I'd be the first to say I can't say nothing when it comes to the furlough stuff, because I was on there making a video about how disgusted I was. And I stand by that video. I wouldn't want our staff to get furloughed to bring in players. I wouldn't want that. But at the same time, Liverpool Football Club shouldn't have to furlough staff.
Not with all the success that we've had recently and all the future money. Because as I said, I know it's not going to be the dumbest amount of money you've ever seen, but we had record shirt sales in the history of the club under a deal that gives us 20% of whatever that profit is. Yeah. That's money that's going to be coming into the club as well. And for me, I think any money made by what is considered on the pitch activity should go to the playing squad. So if we've got a Dunkin' Donuts thing, for example, or we've got the AXA sponsorship for the training ground and things like that, use that money to do all the behind the scenes stuff and all the other stuff you want to do. But anything like what the sponsor is on the shirt when we're actually on the pitch, what the money is made from player sales, from when we sell players, from the actual shirt sponsorship deal now, because it's the shirt we actually wear on the pitch, where people are getting names of the players who are in the squad on their back. All of that should go straight back into making sure the squad always stays relevant and gets replenished. And I know I'm not thinking logically all the way, but I still believe that that's how things should work. Money you make off the pitch, you use for off the pitch, and money you make on the pitch, you use for the squad. That's, in my opinion, how it should work, because we're not a business all the way. We're a football club first. And if we don't stay at the top, we become irrelevant. And if you're irrelevant, you don't make money anyway. They go hand in hand. Adidas got rid of us because we weren't winning anything. See that? We were so crap at that time. Adidas offered us a deal that was so shit. We had to go to Warrior Sport. Have you ever even heard of Warrior Sport before?
No. Thank God they got bought out by New Balance as well.
I'm telling you, bro. But that was because I think Adidas only offered us something like 20 mil, Cal, if my memory serves me right, for a 3-year deal. Like,
and
that,
even that
was a dumb deal, bro.
You know what? It was a dumb deal, but you know what? Adidas had justified to offer us that at that time.
Because we were crap.
They were more than justified to offer us at that time. Mr. Tibbs09, excuse me. Liverpool are currently 6th, with top 4 not being guaranteed as a result of a lack of investment. Being concerned about a competition is justified. Sly Ross, is it too much to ask FSG to invest their own cash?
I've asked for that for a while.
Yeah, I don't think it is too much to ask. And again, I don't want to sit here and say like I need Man City type money. I don't. But I want to have the option. Because again, the sort of manager we have, like Guardiola, seems to me like he's a very demanding manager. He wants what he wants and he has to get it. Klopp is not that type of manager. He's proved that since he's been here. Klopp wanted certain players, didn't get those players. He looked for alternatives and we still become successful from it. Once again, I ask you this. Man City's defence. Kyle Walker, 50 million. Cancelo, 20 odd million.
Plus, they got rid of Danilo, though, so the whole deal was still worth 50 mil, bro.
Yeah, but in terms of just looking at the cost of them, Mendy, 50 odd million. Zinchenko was obviously, I think he was only small because he came. Or something. Yeah. Stones, 50 mil. Diaz, 50 odd mil / 60 mil. Ake, 40 odd mil. And who's their other centre back? Laporte, 60 mil.
Laporte, 60
yes.
mil.
Like, come on, like this is what we're competing against. Think about that for a sec, people. Even when you look at Man United, Luke Shaw, 30 mil. Telles, 15 mil, I believe. Wan-Bissaka, 50 odd mil. And I don't even know who their backup right back is.
Bailly was 35, Lindelof was 30, Maguire was 80.
Like, this is what we're competing against, people. So, like, come on now. Chelsea's Ben Chilwell was 50 odd mil. Marcus Alonso is 25 mil. Palmieri, who's their third choice left back, was about 20 mil. Like, this is what we're competing against. Like, come on now, man.
And then
like,
if you look at ours, bro, Gomez 3 mil, Davies 2 mil, Kabak loan, Matic 3.
Trent through the academy, Nico through the academy,
Robbo 8.
Simicast 11 mil. Virgil's the only big one at 75. The only one we can turn around and say, well, we've outspent all of our rivals would be goalkeeper. But even then, Chelsea got Kepa and beat our record for that. Man United, De Gea back in the day, they got him at a decent price. They still went and
30
bought.
they paid for him, bro.
Yeah, 30. They flipping Man City. They bought Bravo. Then they replaced him the next summer with Edison for big money. So I have to look at competition because that's who we're trying to beat. Like Leno cost 25 million. All these teams are spending us out of the water. Sharif, City's transfer model is not the only way to have success. Have a look at Bayern's transfer model, very similar to us, and they have won the sextuple. Be patient, guys. Big signings in the summer. All right, so again, very valid point, Sharif. Here's where I rebuttal the Bayern argument, though. Bayern argument are buying directly from their rivals. So although Bayern aren't spending crazy amounts like your Man Cities, they're buying directly from their rivals. So they're killing two birds with one stone. They're strengthening themselves and weakening the nearest competition. So when they're playing in their league, they monopolized it. So let's say, for example, our summer transfer window wasn't Tsimikas, Jota, and Thiago. Let's say, for argument's sake, it was Zinchenko, let's say Gundogan, and an attacker from Man City. Let's say, I don't know, let's say Sterling. They may be seen as good buys, but you're killing off one of your rivals as well. So it's making the league easier for us in a sense. So, and again, they also are buying from other clubs outside of Germany as well. But if you predominantly look at their squad, they're buying from within the league. They bought Pavard from the league. Neuer was from the league. Goretzka was from the league. Upamecano is going to be from the league. Lewandowski, Gnabry was bought from another German team. They're monopolizing their league. So as they strengthen, they are weakening the opposition. So we don't have the same model. Plus,
and not only that, Cal,
they spend a lot more than us as well.
Not only that, because they're so much better than everyone else in their league, they also have what nobody else has, which is called time. So you know what?
They play less games than us every season as well.
They were able to let Gnabry become the player he was supposed to be because they've got the time for it. If Liverpool had bought Gnabry as raw as he was when Bayern Munich bought him, he would have had half a bad season and we would have been on his back because of the pressure and he wouldn't have been able to become that player. Yeah. When you're a Bayern Munich player, you get a bit more time to become who you are. Look at Kingsley Coman. He didn't have any pressure to become a great player because they already had Robin, Ribery, Costa, and you know what I mean? They had so many players. It's like, all right, bro, you just learn your trade. We'll just wait for you, innit? We don't get that luxury to do that. Look what happened to Jota. Man come in, he had to hit the ground straight away. He didn't get no bedding in time.
And again, this is why I'm so keen on someone like Neto, because again, if you're in Germany and Neto's playing how he's playing, there's one of two things is going to happen. Either Bayern are going to buy him this summer or he'll go to a Dortmund and Bayern will get him in a couple of years' time. If we don't get Neto, and let's say he goes to a Man City, a Chelsea, a Man United, or an Arsenal or Tottenham, we're never getting Neto probably. So this is how different it is in Bayern Munich's case than it is to the Premier League. You see how we've gone and bought Jota now. None of the other teams ain't getting Jota unless something crazy happens. So when you get a player, he's yours, and the other teams won't have that option. Like it's not like Man City can be like, yeah, we'll let Jota mature for a couple more years and then we'll go and buy him in a couple more years, because Liverpool will be like, no, we ain't doing that unless they come with dumb money. So it's like, it's so different in Bayern Munich. Gangan Deep, if you have a world-class manager with elite/world-class assets to sell, clubs run by a self-sustaining model go on a 2 to 3 year period of dominance. Besides that, Chelsea and City's model equals long-term success due to being proactive. Agreed. Like, it's not a coincidence that Chelsea are the most successful team since Abramovich has come to the club. It's not a coincidence they've won more trophies than everyone else. And again, don't get me wrong, they've had their highs upon highs and they've had really low lows. How long did they stay at their lows? And again, I ask you people, FSG have been here for what, 10 years now? Slightly longer. Only 2 of those seasons have we enjoyed success trophy-wise. For me, that's not good. And again, I'd ask you guys, if this was a manager at Liverpool Football Club, how, do you know, in fact, I'm not even going to ask, how long did we give Brendan Rodgers as fans before we turned on him?
I didn't turn on him, but it was one season, innit?
After that 13-14 season, the 14-15, we kind of gave him a little bit of a grace period, but he was on borrowed time. The season after that was what, 15-16, innit? And he got sacked.
That was when he got sacked, innit? And he nearly won us the lead.
So why is it managers and players get less breathing space than the owners, in my opinion? That's the only question I'm asking. Why do they get less breathing space than owners? Sharif, check out Florian Wirtz of Bayer Leverkusen, 6 goals and 5 assists, and he's only 17. He would be a great future buy. I'll check him out. I'll definitely check him out. But yeah, look, didn't want to turn this into an FSG debate type thing, but got some super chats that I thought it was only right that we responded to and spoke about. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't want to be speaking about FSG later, because if we are, then it means we've probably lost or not performed well in the game.
We're always going to talk about FSG while the squad isn't good enough to cope with what we're going through, isn't it? That's just how it goes, bro.
Yeah. And again, you have to look at previous models. Like, you look at your likes of Barcelona when they were successful. Messi, all these players, they came up because they had great players in front of them as well. Like, they had, like, Messi had Henry, Eto'o, Ronaldinho to look up to. I want Harvey Elliott looking up to your likes of Salahs, your Manes. I don't want them players being sold. And then Elliott's got to come through at the age of 18 and do what Sterling did. And that's another thing. People get peed off when Sterling left the club. Who in that dressing room at the time, apart from Coutinho, and I'm not even going to include Sturridge because Sturridge was injured for most of that season, who else in that dressing room could Sterling look at and say, all right, apart from Coutinho, no one's better than me? And Gerrard, obviously. But that's it.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot, for real.
Yeah, I'm not doing a watch long tonight. I actually can't.
You're getting inundated. No, baby, allow it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. If I don't do a watch long tonight and Liverpool win, then I'm gonna have to assess it. I'm gonna have to assess myself, and me and Hammers are gonna have a talk. And he's probably gonna call me and be like, yeah, Cal, I don't know if it's gonna work. Sorry, Sly Ross, I missed a super chat. Missed super chat, Cal. Don't forget the world record profit in 2019 as well. Indeed. And again, I don't want to just make this a bashing. Like, we have got a very high wage bill. But again, I could probably name you about 10 players that we need to get off the wage bill. So again, it works hand in hand.
The thing is, you see the wage bill, yeah? I know you do have to think about it. Don't get me wrong. You definitely have to think about it. But I think it's conditioning that we're now thinking about that. Because let's keep it real. When in your life, up until about maybe the last 5 years or so, did you ever care about how much money the player earned? Like, this has become a bit of a conditioning of like, oh, well, just remember, we have to spend this much on his wages. And isn't that supposed to just be, that's like me saying, I'm never going to buy a car because I've got to pay to maintain it. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to buy a car. Like, the wages is part of it. If it's messy, when it's the dumbest wages you've ever seen in your life, then fair enough. But when it's the usual 150, 200 grand a week kind of thing, which is just like normal of a top-end Premier League footballer, you can't keep crying that story to me, man. That's just football. That's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just how it goes. And be a more attractive club and you pay less wages. The people who've got the highest wage bill are the teams you have to pay that to get the player to come. Man United have got them dumb wages because they've been so crap for so long. They're not getting anybody if they don't give them big boy wages.
Yeah.
I bet Man City's wage bill is lower than Man United. I'm not going to say that as a fact, but I bet it is. I bet it's lower.
But even when you look at City's squad, they don't have, and again, they don't have a real sort of, they don't have much deadwood in their squad.
They don't.
I can't, like, their squad is lean. There's not much fat to trim off that squad. Whereas you look at Man U's and Liverpool, like, again, I'm just going to go through the players that I think need to move on. No agenda. Adrian, Matip, Grujic, Keita, Ox, Origi, Minamino, Milner. In fact, I'll take Milner out of that for now, actually. I'll take Milner out of that. But you see where I'm going. Harry Wilson, Shea Ojo, Grabara, like all these players who are either out on loan or still in the squad, Shaqiri. Like, you get rid of those players, you'll see the wage bill come down by quite a lot.
Mm.
And even if we got rid of those 10 players, 11 players, let's say, for example, and we bought 5, I know the number of players we've got in the squad isn't as much, but you know what? The squad actually improves.
Even if you bought 4 players
exactly.
in those 4 positions that we said, after getting about 100 mil for selling everyone you just mentioned. So, I don't know, people. I don't know. I'm just a humble guy from South London who loves his club and wants to see them do well. But I don't want to see the likes of Salah or anyone get sold this summer to fund other players coming in. I want us to go out and put down a marker, show Klopp that we believe in him as a club, give him all the necessary resources to succeed, and then he falls on his sword or he rises up and he slays people. That's all I want. I think I'm going to go and put a little cheeky try and throw it in the universe bet on Salah getting a hat-trick tonight.
Do it. But Bauer, I'll be real with you. If, let's say Klopp got 2 extra players he wanted last in the summer, I wouldn't be sitting there talking about FSG right now. I'd be sitting there talking about Klopp.
But just before we go, what do you think Klopp will play in the 4-3-3? What do you think he will actually play today?
I think it'll be Henderson centre back next to Kabak. The fullbacks put themselves. I didn't want to say it, Drift. That's why I've been trying to avoid doing it, but you're forcing me, bro. And then
my bad.
I think he'll go Gini, Thiago, and Jones in the midfield, and then the front 3 picks itself.
I think you're right as well. And that team ain't beating Leipzig.
In my opinion, no. Demo Dre, I knew I'd see Demo Dre pop up. He said he's not registered. Yes, Demo, he's registered. You should know he's registered. You're his agent. Yeah.
You know what, Demo? Buy some shares in that now while he's not popular, and then you'll make P when he gets big at Burnley, bro.
Oh boy. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap up there. Do smash the like button if you haven't already. As I said, we'll be back straight after the game tonight. Game's at 8 o'clock kickoff UK time, so game will finish around maybe 10. So we'll probably be back about 10 past 10 this evening. So make sure you join us for that. Win, lose or draw. We're going to need your support. As I said, smash the like button if you haven't already. Look out for our members video, which will be dropping this week. Hold on, Bayern Pops. Shout out to Bayern Pops. Drift, this Hendo at centre back is on you. You called this out. You did pee in the wind, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Ah, my bad. I ain't doing that no more.
Yeah, you did pee in the wind, bro.
Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Every time I leave my house, I've got to do a quick step over the shit I did on my own doorstep there.
Yeah, literally. And no, people, I won't be doing a watch along with James tonight. I literally can't. Or else, well, you know, we'll see how the results go. All I'm saying, if we don't win tonight and I don't do a watch along, then it's not on me. If we win tonight and I haven't done a watch along, then yes, my position needs to be assessed. That's all I will say. But yes, people, thank you for the love and support as always. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish, and we'll see you later on this evening, people.
Peace.